Ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Roll the Tape film crew, I must admit that this entire event was a fiasco. The entire card, these three fights, they did not live up to the hype. I mean, seriously, in my professional and personal opinion. The most entertaining thing that took place tonight out of all three of these fights was that Rolly Romero knocked Ryan Garcia down in the second round. Other than that, atrocious. I'm saying the event. I'm not disrespecting the professional boxers. I'm talking about the event. It did not live up to the hype, the expectation that we all had as boxing fans. We should be disappointed. Now, even if you're not disappointed, it's okay. I am. I mean, let's start with the commentators. I expect veterans like Jim Lampley, like Sergio Mora, like Antonio Tarver. I expect these three guys to have enough camaraderie, enough experience, enough professional fortitude as analysts and color commentators to be able to dissect the actual fight that's happening in front of them without any sidebar conversations and or opinions and or pieces of facts that were not relative or relevant to the fight that they were commentating on. For example, in round number 10 and 11 of Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez fight, Jim Lampley was talking about Ryan Garcia and Ryan Garcia's accusations of Victor Conte still being a steroid dealer and still injecting professional boxers with PEDs, including Devin Haney and the other snack fighters. That had nothing to do with what was taking place in those two rounds of a Devin Haney fight. Devin Haney and Jose Ramirez were robbed. The boxing fans who were listening to the commentary were robbed. And that's the issue that I have with it. Not only that, but even in Ryan Garcia's fight with Rolly Romero, round number 7 and 8, we hear Jim Lampley talking about Derrick James is going to look bad as a professional boxing trainer because if Ryan Garcia loses, Ryan Garcia will be the third professional boxer who was being trained by Derrick James within the past 1 year. Really, it was 2 years because he said Terrence Crawford dominated Errol Spence while Errol Spence was being trained by Derrick James. But anyway, and in this fight, and then Sergio Mora, he comes in, chimes in, brings his 2 pennies in on it, and then says, don't forget about Charlo against Canelo. Like, what does that have to do with what's happening in front of you? So that the audience members, the fans of boxing, won't get robbed from enjoying the experience of watching a fight with good, unbiased, objective, educational commentary. Teofimo Lopez versus Arnold Barboza Jr. did not live up to the hype. Neither one of them really landed enough punches to make any of us say, wow, this was a good seesaw battle. They really laid it all on the line. This was a world title fight, wasn't it? Oh, okay. That's all I'm saying. Throwing 300, 400 punches in one fight, we expect for there to be more landed punches, more engagement, more technical and tactical strategies being implemented on both sides of the equation, offensively and defensively. It looked like a glorified sparring match. Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez looked like a glorified sparring match. The first thing I saw on Devin Haney, like I watch all fighters, especially coming off of a layoff or in age being increased, is their legs. Devin Haney's legs look off to me. From the first round I was watching, I did not like the way Devin Haney's legs looked in this fight. They looked weaker than they actually should. I'm telling you, he was moving on the balls of his feet the entire fight. So I had enough time to assess what those legs were looking like. I did not like them. I'm telling y'all that. There's something wrong with that. Did not like the way his legs looked. His movement wasn't on point either. He kept moving to the right, which was moving closer to the left hand that Ramirez kept trying to land. And when he landed it, or landed the jab, Devin Haney's head popped back like it did in the Lomachenko fight and like it did in the Ryan Garcia fight. He keeps his left hand down too long in the pocket. And when the left hand did land periodically while he was on the ropes, he would actually hold Ramirez. He was still getting tagged with the same punch. It just wasn't coming faster from Ramirez because he's not a fast puncher like a Ryan Garcia. Bottom line is, Devin Haney needs to work on a lot of different things in that gym. If he fought against a more polished, skillful fighter who knows how to cut the ring off, who has power, who knows how to dig to the body and the head, I didn't even see any of these guys, any of them, press the body, dig to the body, land big shots to the body, set these punches up. None of them, none six of them. I'm disappointed. Rolly Romero against Ryan Garcia. In my breakdown and preview earlier today, I told y'all what Ryan Garcia needed to do. I did say it was going to be a knockdown in this fight, didn't I? But the point I'm making is I told everyone what Ryan Garcia needed to do to win this fight. And then I told everybody what Rolly needed to do. And Ryan Garcia couldn't pull the trigger and back Rolly up. Didn't and couldn't outbox him. He was too gun shy after getting knocked down. Devin Haney, too gun shy. The Ryan and Rolly fight looked like another glorified sparring match. I'm disappointed. I'm glad that these 6 fighters were able to enjoy a payday. I respect that, and I like that. I advocate for the fighters. But this card did not live up to any of the expectation because these fighters were lackluster in their performances, all 6 of them. I'm not here to criticize these guys. I'm just saying that this is not a card that lived up to the expectation. And hopefully we don't see cards get put together like this to disappoint fans all across the world that support the sport of boxing. Because you know what that does? It increases the risk of piracy, where people say, you know what? I don't feel like I'm getting my money's worth. So guess what? I'm not going to pay for the fights anymore. I'll stream it and I won't pay for it. And I'll use all these different methods to be able to steal the fights and not support the fighters or not attend in person. So that's my take on the whole card. From all 3 fights, Rolly Romero beat Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney beat Jose Ramirez, and we know what happened with Teofimo beating Arnold Barboza Jr. So hopefully these guys, all of them, can go back to the drawing board, have their representation, do some work, because all 6 of them, they need good representation to work for them at this point for their next fights if they choose to stay in this sport. Seriously. And I mean that so sincerely. But apparently the rematch is off between Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. It's off. But Rolando Romero said, hey, I'll step to the side. Let these 2 guys fight anyway. But who knows? This is boxing. None of these guys really did what we expected them to do, because I think all of them really are more skillful and talented than what they displayed. But remember, it takes 2 dance partners and styles make fights. So we got to always keep those 2 things in mind. You know what? I'm doing way too much talking. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.